let's welcome the team from Fudan.
Good morning, everyone. We are Team Fudan from Shanghai, China. Before our presentation, let me ask a question before it. Have you ever drank milk today? Yes. Oh, it's quite lucky if you don't have lactose intolerance. In my country, China, about 95% of people have lactose intolerance, more or less. Our team's project is about treating lactose intolerance, which name is Aquired Lactose Intolerance Embedded Resolution, ALTER for short. Let me introduce the problems and inspiration first. As I've said before, lactose intolerance is a common disease in China, but some adults with lactose intolerance just don't care about it because they can live without milk. But when things come to babies, it is different. This year, in January, when I was doing voluntary work at Obstetrics and Gynecology Hospital of Fudan University, I found that lots of babies were suffering from lactose intolerance. Milk is very important to them, so they cannot treat the disease by stop drinking milk. After reading related papers, our team found out that 10.91% of babies in China are suffering from primary lactose intolerance, and babies suffering from secondary lactose intolerance has reached up to 64.70%. So it's really a local problem in China. At hospital, I realized that there are two main ways in treating lactose intolerance. One is to use lactase, and another is to use probiotic preparation. But both ways are inconvenient for babies. Lactase might be inactivated by gastric acid, and the process of using lactase is complicated. Probiotic preparation might be beaten by local microflora in the gut, and it has to be taken very often. Because of the problems about lactase and probiotics, we want to create a medicine which can survive in baby's gut while requiring no long-term use. So we decided to use a kind of probiotic called Niso 9070. By modifying it, we can make it achieve our goal. Since we decided to put a genetic modified microorganism into baby's intestinal tract, we wondered whether parents would accept this kind of treatment. So we went back to Obstetrics and Gynecology Hospital of Fudan University again to conduct a survey. According to our results, as to employing transgenetic probiotics to treat lactose intolerance, 88% of our parents said that they would accept it, but they still had quite a few concerns. The main concerns they raised are the safety and therapeutic efficiency, so we will deal with these two problems in our design. Since most parents don't feel against this kind of treatment, we decided to start our project. Based on the weaknesses we found in the existing treatment, we proposed 4 key requirements to meet. We wanted to survive through the gastric acid and the intestinal, and we wanted to be safe for both human body and the environment. We also wanted to achieve higher lactose digestion efficiency. Let me show you our design. We will demonstrate how our design is tightly engaged with the requirements. We divide these 4 requirements in 2 stages. In the first stage, below the QS threshold, we dealt with missile survival in gastric acid and gut. In the second stage, above the QS threshold, we dealt with missile safety and efficiency. Let's first look at the requirements of gastric survivability, which we think is equal to acid tolerance ability. To strengthen acid tolerance of Niso, we found the AR2 system, which gram-negative bacteria commonly use to defend themselves against extreme acid environments, such as pH2. This system contains several glutamine transporters and glutaminases. It consumes hydrogen ion by demonizing glutamine to maintain low acidity in cell. The whole system is down-regulated by a global transcription factor HNS. So we designed a red recombinase system to knock out gene HNS in NISO 1970, hoping to achieve the goal of ACE resistance. Without HNS, the progress of ACE resistance can work. To find out how HNS knocked out NISO performs against acidic environments, we conducted ACE shock assay. We can see from this figure that after ACE shock, HNS knockdown NISO has a significant colony number advantage against the wild type. Now we go to introduce our design related to the second requirement, intestinal survivability. At first, we decided to improve NISO's adhesion by overexpressing NISO's pili, but it doesn't work well. Unable to find an explanation through the literature, we decided to contact Mrs. Feng Lihui, a children's doctor specializing in the development mechanism of intestinal flora and its relationship with infant health and disease. In her experience, the colonization of foreign species depends on survival in competition with the original flora. There are three reasons of this. First, probiotic will die due to the gastric acid. Second, the original flora in the intestinal tract occupies the most of the space, so it is difficult for NISO to colonize. Finally, even if it is colonized, it has no competitive advantage, so it will be eliminated. Aiming at these problems, we decided to focus on competition and use microcin to make NISO survive better. In our project, we use microcin B17. It is a newly characterized microcin with hopeful prospects in medical use. Here shows the overview of microcin B17. MCBA encodes the precursor. Encodes the precursor of the peptide. MCBB2D. Its products form a whole enzyme that introduce thiazole and oxazole moieties after removing the leader peptide. The mature microcin is exported to the environment through MCBE-NF. When MCB17 enters a target bacteria, it binds the DNA gyrase complex and results in its complication error and cell death. To make it work, we carry the gene cluster with a BAC plasmid. It is single copy just like the natural state of the microcin plasmid. The microcin is introduced to inhibit other competitors to help colonization. In lab, we transfer the plasmid into DH10B to test if this part works as we want. Unfortunately, it shows symbiosis and weak inhibition on the background of DH10B. We guess it's due to the small population or the low concentration of microcin. In the right picture, here, it shows a significant inhibition on Micrococcus lactose. Further experiments are on the way. So it partly proved its effectiveness. Furthermore, we wanted to quantify the population growth curve of modified NISO. When NISO first settled on the intestinal, the population was influenced by two factors: the toxin effects of the microcin and the competition of the local bacteria. We tiered MCB-ABCD and EFG apart to make our system work well. MCB-ABCD expressed constantly and MCB-EFG expressed under inhibition. The expression of MCBEF is regulated by p-theta promoter. As for the competition of local flora, we estimated the reasonable competition co-effect based on the experimental results and literature data, and obtained the influence on the number of niso population according to the comparison equation. Based on these two factors, we can see that the population increased rapidly in the stage of settling on the intestine, and then began to stabilize due to the accumulation of the microcene. That means our modified niso can survive in the gut. Let my partner introduce the requirements in stage 2 to you.
So as we have achieved the intestinal survivability, we want to proceed to check if the safety to check our safety concerns. To ensure the safety of our project, we wanted to achieve a self-controlled floral scale by separately expressing MCB-ABCD and MCB-EFG. What we wanted to achieve was that under low population, we wanted MCB-EFG to reach a high expression level. Therefore, our bacteria had immunity to its own microcenes, and the excretion of microcene also allowed it to win in the competition against the intestinal flora. In stage 2, when our floral scale had reached a certain level, we wanted our microcene MCB-EFG to stop expressing, so that the microcene will start to accumulate in cells, which will finally lead to the cell death. It is obvious that the circuit we wanted to achieve has similar features with quorum sensing, so we added quorum sensing system to our design. Considering quorum sensing is positive controlled, but the secretion of microcene, we wanted MCB-EFG to be negatively controlled. We introduced theta p-theta expression system to achieve the secondary negative control. To summarize, we wanted AHR and LuxR heterodimers to accumulate, for LuxPR to open, and for the p-theta to close, for our system to shut down, and heterodimers to dilute, for LuxPR to close, and for the p-theta to open, for our system to come to work. It is obvious that a good LuxPR is the key point of LuxPR p-theta secondary regulation, due to the fact that p-theta is an extra strict regulatory promoter. We hope to obtain an ideal LuxPR promoter that, while maintaining its switching properties, had very low leakage, so that the promoter p-theta is not excessively inhibited. Therefore, a quantitative model is necessary. Based on data of microcem and p-theta we acquired, we did prediction on how a QS promoter should perform in case of leakage and activation. In case of leakage and activation, if it is going to work in our secondary control system. As we can see from the right figure, the wall-type LuxPR is disqualified because it has way higher leakage. When we started the when we searched for lower leakage QS promoters and found Tsinghua LuxPR HS promoter import registry, we tested it in our system and found it still needs further improvement in its expression level, because its expression level is reduced to a large extent. So how do we improve expression while not affecting much of its leakage, which is hybrid promoters? Here we show how hybrid promoters are built based on LuxPR HS. The sequence between -35 region and -10 region is replaced by J23100 series. We tested this promoter in our system and found out it had almost a fold higher expression level than LuxPR HS. Also, they are with the same leakage. We further conducted activation and inhibition tests to show that the the LuxPR TETR secondary regulation system can work as a switch in our system. Now we have settled the problem of QS control. We wanted to further find out how this circuit regulates floor scale and in return combines to assuring the safety. Based on the microbiological cycle we demonstrated and data we acquired, we use dynamic equations to simulate the whole process of floor control. As shown in this figure, before 110 hours, the bacterial population was slowly declining, and around the 110 hours, the antimicrobial peptide accumulated at a certain level, which leads to a rapid decrease in the population. To further improve its safety, we also took escaping into consideration. The UCAS China provided us with their project to ensure that our product won't be leaked into the environment. If it is leaked to the environment, it will lead to sudden death. Now this is the fourth concern, which is efficiency. Utilizing energy in an efficient way is always among our concerns. Since we are using a LuxPR promoter, we want to achieve the highest efficiency by fusing LuxPR promoter with a strong constitutive promoter, which in this case is J23-100 series. Further testing was conducted and it showed that LuxPR FUS, which is the hybrid promoter, has approximately 50% strength increase without significant changes in leakage compared to the wild-type LuxPR. Now we have acquired a strengthened promoter, but we still wanted to see how our product digests lactose in patient guts, because this is what really matters to our patients. Our dry experiment helped us to simulate how lactase is yielded and how lactose will be digested in gut by using our product. So far we have achieved the acid tolerance improvement by knocking out HNS, improved competitiveness by transforming microsin, met safety concern by coupling QS system with microsin, and reached high efficiency by applying high strengthened hybrid promoters. However, there's still future work for us to do. Firstly, knocking out HNS inhibits Niso from growing. This is supported by our observations, so data is not presented here. We plan to compensate the lack of HNS by providing HNS mutants. Ideally, we would reach no significant growth rate defect. And also, we will want to present effectiveness against pathogens because the pathogen test was likely not very successful in the past. And at last, we also wanted to achieve one plasmid controlling system in our project, because now it is a two plasmid controlling system. Now we wanted to see our application. In the future vision, we wanted to release our product into the market. Additional acid tolerance ability make it available for dry powder, capsules, tablets, even jams and candies, and many other forms of those. And however, we haven't marketized our project yet. To marketize our product and benefit more people, we did some market preparations by consulting Liu Hong, a professor working on marketing microbiome products. He gave us many practical suggestions on how to marketize our product. So here's the team and acknowledgements. We would like to thank all our team members for hard work and all the instructors and advisors that gave us help. Also, we would like to thank these teams for helping us during our project, and the capital foundations that gave us fund for our project.